record isn't what they'd like, but they're still dangerous, and Simon's probably one of their best players. Talk about him.
Ben Simon's one of the best players in the league. He was last year, and he continues to be. Now he's off to a little slower start than probably we anticipated, but he's playing with a new group of guys, and I think that takes time. But the reality of it is, 3 games ago, Drake was a better three-point shooting team than we are, and we're a pretty good three-point shooting team. And they've just had 3 games where they haven't made shots, and but it's the same guys that made them for the first 11 games. So that's what we're prepared to see on Tuesday night. It's really scary because they, most of the time, especially when they bring Joey King in at the power forward spot, they've got 4 guys that are capable of shooting a three-point shot with Seth Van Diest inside, and that's a dangerous combination.
You talk about Austin. How impressed were you with his performance on Saturday?
Very impressed. Number one, he wasn't feeling good, so to have that performance when he was under the weather, when we desperately needed him, was great to see. But, Austin is from day one. He's handled some pretty immense expectations, filling a huge role that was created when Antoine graduated. And Austin is, we haven't missed a beat. He's doing things on the floor defensively that we need him to do. He's running the team, and he's making shots, and he's picking his spots to take shots, which has been good to see.
He's a pretty good shooter, isn't he?
He's always been a good shooter. But you have to kind of pick somebody to lay off on our team if you want to plug up the inside with Gregory and Doug in there. So they've picked on him a little bit, and for the most part, he's made him pay.
You mentioned Gregory. He's really been attacking offensively, more so, in my opinion. Do you see that in him? What is the ceiling?
I think his offensive skill set has improved. I think we're seeing that on the offensive end of the floor, but I think more importantly, his conditioning has improved. He's in the best shape of his life. He's as trim as he's ever been. We can play him in longer stretches. And I think because he's in better shape, he's in better foul trouble than he has in the past. So, what's exciting about Gregory is he hasn't reached his potential. We can get him to do it every minute that he's on the floor. He's going to make a lot of money playing this game. I don't need to go back. I remember it. Well. So I remember the first time I met him. I said, Gregory, we've got to get you to weigh less than me at some point in time. And he does now. So he's done a great job getting himself in shape. And I'm really proud of him. He's worked hard and has accepted the role we've asked him to play. He's become a dominant defensive player, and that's been very gratifying to see.
Drake is 0-3, but as you said, a very dangerous team. Is that the message, obviously, to these guys today?
Yeah, our guys were able to watch the DVD. Drake playing Cal, I think it was over Thanksgiving, and had Cal down 9 points with 5 minutes to go and lost a close game in the end. They went to Nevada, won at Nevada, which is a very difficult place to win. So this is a good basketball team. They've just hit a tough stretch where they haven't shot the ball well. That happens to all of us. I think there's been some illness that have run through their team at the same time. They're going to catch fire. I just hope it isn't tomorrow night.
You hold your breath when Grant throws the ball backside to keep the ball down?
I don't even pay attention. I guess that's a press break I hadn't thought of before, but it sure was effective.
Bulldogs.
Well, just continue that mentality of taking every game with the same approach, and we know they're very capable. They were playing really well early in the year. Played really good out in Anaheim, and when they're shooting the ball well, they're capable of beating everybody. So our mentality's got to stay the same, regardless of who we're playing.
Speaking of shooting the ball well, talk about Simons.
Yeah, he's tough. He's a tough cover. I think he's one of the most underrated guys in this league. Maybe one of the more underrated guys around the country. Great size, and he can make really tough shots. And so we're gonna have to be tuned in with him as well as other guys on our team. But he's always played well against us, and we know how tough a cover he is.
Do you know many guys on their squad?
I don't really. I don't know a whole lot. I played against Van Diest in high school, but don't really know him personally. So don't know a whole lot of those guys actually.
Grant, we talked with Austin earlier, and what difference have you seen in him from a year ago, now that he's kind of one of the leaders out there on the court?
Yeah, I think, he's just gotten more comfortable and, just playing more minutes, he's been able to kind of show what he can do. And he's a guy that can do a lot of things, and, he's played incredible this year. Kind of you know, a guy that everybody had their question marks about coming in this year has been one of our most consistent guys, and he's been a huge key for us.
Have you kind of taken him under your wing since you're a senior and he's kind of a newcomer out there?
A little bit. You know, we talk here and there, and obviously playing in the backcourt together. But I think he has a trust in me. You know, having played and been around, and you know, we developed good chemistry through last year and this summer. And kind of talking to him in last year that, you know, to learn every day, even though he wasn't playing those minutes, but knowing that this is going to be you next year taking Antoine's spot. And you can learn a lot in those, you know, freshman, sophomore years when you're not playing a lot, but watching the guy ahead of you and kind of seeing where you can impact the game in what facets. So.
You talked about it a little bit the other night after the game. How does Echenike separate you guys from all the other teams in the Valley?
Well, I mean, his presence and obviously his physical stature is something that you don't see a lot in this league. And when he's playing his best ball, we're a different team with what he does defensively, and then obviously in the paint, scoring the basketball, and his aggressiveness. So he's a guy that we've got to get the ball to more. Guys like myself, we got to find him and get him involved early in every game, because it really makes us a different team when he's playing at a high level like he has been. Yeah, I think it's his approach, and it all kind of is intertwined. And you know, the coaches worked hard with him last spring, this summer, this fall, and his positioning and his footwork and all those things. But the biggest difference has been his mentality, wanting to dominate, winning the ball. And when he does that, he's incredibly tough to stop.
Performance on Saturday, you seem to have it scoring and passing. How good a performance was that for you?
I think I played a pretty good game. I mean, I was still a little under the weather, but as a whole, I played a pretty good game. I shot it well, distributed the ball real well, so that was a great game.
You, as a point guard, you got to be vocal, and you're a pretty soft-spoken guy, right? Did you find that difficult to take charge and lead at some point?
Sometimes, but a lot of times I just like to lead by example, really, and just try to do the right things, and just be in the right spots and things like that, really, without saying too much.
And you knew that this was going to be a big year for you. Is this gone as well as you had hoped in terms of replacing Antoine, or do you ever look at it that way?
I try not to, really. Just try to take it one time, really, and just try to improve, really, each and every day.
You guys are rolling right now. How do you come in tomorrow night and not look past a Drake team who's 6-8, 0-3 in Valley play?
I mean, because in conference play, everybody could have a big game, really. And when they're hitting shots, they can play with anybody in the country. So really, you just try to study the film and just, like I said, just take it one game at a time.
Coach McDermott said after the game on Saturday that he's surprised that teams leave you open to shoot. Are you surprised about that, and what?
I mean, kind of. But, I mean, last year I really didn't have the greatest percentages or whatnot. But, I mean, as the season goes on, I guess I'm really surprised.
How much pride do you take in your shooting?
A lot, because I stay at the practice or before practice working on my jump and things like that, so a lot of pride.
Is that where you think you made the biggest improvement, the biggest jump from last year to this?
Definitely, because that was one of the big things I was working on this summer, really improving, is being a more consistent shooter.
Has Grant kind of helped you in terms of, your assists, your passing, having an upperclassman like that?
He has, because he's always seeing the right things on the floor, so he tries to pull me along and watch film and things like that to make the right reads.
Can you talk about the dominance of not only Doug, but Gregory down low? He's playing, I would think, at another level right now.
I mean, they're just a force down low. It just makes a lot of things easier, really. It just opens up the court. When you get the ball inside, really just leaves the shooters wide open. It just allows a lot of penetration misses, things like that.
Are there sometimes too many options for you guys? It seems like everyone can score at any given moment.
I mean, sometimes, but when somebody has a hot hand, you know who to get the ball to. So